CHICKEN. Use the code chicken in the shop. CHICKEN. Use the code chicken.
Guys, the chicken is here and it's time to clash with chicken. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Reddit AMA that they recently did about the next Clash Quest update and just an AMA in general about the game. This was featured on Reddit with Darian. He is the community manager for Clash Quest, if you guys didn't know. So he's going to he's basically answering a bunch of questions about the future of the game, updates, behind-the-scenes stuff, everything like that you know, that we want to know about the game. So what I'm going to do in today's video is I'm going to pick some of the most popular questions, and I'm going to show you guys what Darian's answer was to those, just to be able to skim through. There was some cool stuff, especially around updates and things like that. So now, first off, the biggest news, the biggest takeaway from this is that there is going to be a June update. I believe this was announced like, a little bit ago. But either way, there's an update coming in June. It's going to be a content update. And so what happens with Supercell games, Supercell is based out of Finland in Helsinki, right? So everyone in Helsinki, Finland, I think it's Finland in general, they take a month off in the summer. I think they take July off, the whole month they take off, so that means there's going to be no updates or content put into the game around this time. So basically the June update is going to be packed enough that it's going to carry us over through that period. So based on that alone, I'm expecting this to be there to be a lot of new things, and you know, the game's still in like alpha or whatever. It's still not even in beta yet, so it's like very, very early development. So I'm not expecting a ton of new changes, a ton of new features, a ton of new quality of life changes, but at the same time, I still think that it's going to be pretty action packed. And the summary of the whole AMA was that the future for Clash Quest looks really good. I'm really excited about this game, and I really think it's going to take off, and I think it's going to be a hit. So, yeah, if you guys are interested in this game and you want to see what's going on, make sure you stay subscribed, stay tuned in, and yeah, just keep plugged in because we're going to keep you up to date on everything that is Clash Quest here. So, I'll read a couple of cool questions first before we get into the update stuff. This one I really like. This is from Ola SPN 2003. They ask, is there any plans on adding more boss battles into other game modes like League or Dungeon, or even a separate game mode like fighting the boss? They're really fun. I felt like this was a good question because after fighting the Goblin King the other day, he's totally right. The boss fights are so much fun. The boss fights are so much fun, and you know, they're really a whole new dynamic. And I feel like not a problem, but you know, when we play Clash Quest, like Dungeons, League, the main levels, they're all kind of the same, right? Not that it's a bad thing, like the gameplay is fun, but it's nice to mix it up and especially do some of these boss battles because they are a ton of fun. All right, so let's start this. Let's start this here. We'll get a battle going as we read this. So the battle's gonna be a little bit slow because I'm reading these questions. But so Darian's answer to that is, I'll just read it verbatim. That is a current ongoing discussion on the team. One of the things we like about Leagues is the draft-like system where each level you get a choice of troops or spells. We are currently discussing what we can do to make the dungeon feature even more fun, whether it's adding some similar draft mechanics or bosses to add that extra challenge. We don't disagree that dungeons can sometimes feel like you're just doing more of the same, like I just talked about, as the regular levels, and it'd be really cool if we could add extra excitement and flair. However, keep in mind that Dungeons just came out in the last update, and it hasn't even been a month yet, so please allow us some time to develop some cool new stuff for it. This is kind of the theme around a lot of the answers to the stuff here, is like, you know, there's a million ideas, and there's a ton of new features and things, and, you know, everyone's got great ideas, and they're all good. But it's just, you know, the game's not there yet. That's the big takeaways. The game's just not there just yet. One of the reasons that I'm so excited for Clash Quest is because, you know, it has so much potential, right? So a lot of these questions are great ideas, but it's kind of the same answer where it's like, yeah, that's great, but we're just not right there yet. The next biggest one, is there any plans for a multiplayer mode? So Darian's answer to this is yes, although to be fully transparent, we haven't really decided exactly what exactly multiplayer mode will look like just yet. After the upcoming June content release, July is pretty much a month-long national holiday in Finland, where a large percentage of the country takes time off. Like we said at the beginning of the video, that includes most of us at Supercell. So once the June update is out, we'll pick up development when we return in August, and one of our biggest focuses is going to be on how we want to approach social features in the game. If you might recall, in the previous island update video, our team lead Tuco, apparently he's really good, briefly discussed his vision for social elements. We would love to have clans in the game, but how those clans will function, how players will compete against one another, etc., is still a bigger discussion we plan on having once we return from summer holiday. And I think that's, it's pretty obvious that they want to build in, some sort of feature, whether that is, updates or, not updates, clans, task forces, whatever, that ends up being. Obviously, that's going to come at some point. All the Supercell games are based around, Boom Beach, task forces, Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, clans, Brawl Stars. You've got your, I always call it bands. It's not bands, it's clubs. So yeah, I mean, there's, we got a nice combo here, I think. Look at this with the Rage Swords. Dude, they do so much damage. Oh my god. We get some Rage Barbs over there. But but yeah, all the Supercell games are built around the multiplayer feature. So obviously that's going to come at some point. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when and how it's going to look like, right? So yeah. Let's skip ahead. Whoops, to the next one here. And yeah, the next biggest question is, how is Clash Quest doing? Will it go global eventually? So this is a big question. 1, 2. Let's go right here first. Bang, bang. Ouch, ouch. So I'm going to finish the level, and then I'll read Darian's answer about is the game going global. Sorry, a bit of a cliffhanger here, but... okay, let's go Mortar next. There we go. And... Wizard. Not going to be enough to take it down, but we will finish the base at least. And boom. Alright, cool, we got to the next stage. So... how's Clash Quest doing? What are we looking at in terms of global? So Darian says, from a game development point of view, we're pretty happy with how the game is doing. I can't go into specific numbers. As a company, we rarely share numbers, as we feel the game should stand on its own merits, regardless of how many people are are playing or how often they play or whether or not they're spending in game. Our goal is to simply make really great games, and we feel Clash Quest has the potential to join the pantheon of Supercell's other games that have left their marks in the gaming world. As far as whether or not it'll go global, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? From a game dev point of view, we're working on the game as if we're planning on going to global. So that means we're working on features we would like to see in the final version of the game, if and when we do go to that celebratory status. However, a lot can happen between now and then. We feel the game still has a lot of features that need to be added. We have a lot of ideas on how we'd like to implement them before we feel it's ready. Additionally, it needs to hit our own internal quality benchmarks. As I said, our goal is to make great games, and we want to make sure that if we do release Clash Quest globally, that it's able to stand toe-to-toe with our other games. So, obviously right there, he's talking about, you know, the game being able to hold up to some of the, it's got to be able to it's got to be able to bang with some of the best mobile games ever made, right? In Clash of Clans, Boom Beach, Clash Royale, and everything else. So that there's no surprise there, and we all kind of already knew that already. But yeah, it sounds like from his answer that everything is in pretty good hands. Everything looks pretty good. There's no major issues that they're worried about or concerned about. And I think I feel like, in my opinion personally, I guess a lot is riding on how the how the multiplayer feature is going to actually work in the game, on however they choose to design or implement that. I feel like that's going to have a lot to do with the future Clash Quest. So that August update that's coming around the corner, I feel like that's going to kind of determine how everything is going to end up looking. So I'm very excited to see that. And like I said, guys, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and you are tuned in, because we're going to be posting everything that you will need to know about Clash Quest, the future of it, the history of it, and boom, there we go. We got to the next stage, just barely, just barely, just barely. But yeah. So those were the biggest questions from the Reddit AMA. So I wanted to share those with you guys in case you missed it. It's gonna give you kind of my thoughts, my opinion on it. So hope that helps you guys out. Hope that keeps you informed. Hope you enjoyed the video. As always, thank you so much for watching. That is going to wrap up the video today. Make sure to leave a like if you found it interesting, entertaining, or informative. And we'll see you in the next one, guys. Chicken out. Back.